This is KGW News at Sunrise.
Good morning. Thanks for getting up with us on this Sunday. I'm Alma McCarty. This morning on Sunrise, frustrations grow from both sides of the Portland teachers' strike. New security video shows protesting teachers entering the Oregon Convention Center. Why PPS says that crossed the line. Plus, Oregonians from all walks of life rally and call for a ceasefire in the Middle East. But before we get to all of that, let's check in with Daisy Caballero for a quick look at the forecast. Good morning, Daisy.
Hey, good morning, Alma. Good morning to all of our viewers. Happy Sunday. Wanted to take you to the coast. First of all, 51 out at Lincoln City. Some folks are already starting to walk around. I would be there if I could. The Dalles right now in the upper 30s, and here in the Rose City, 39 degrees. So everyone, as you can see here, everyone's dealing with that cloud coverage, and that will really continue for really everyone across our region and across the state as well. Current temperatures right now, we're in the upper 40s for Portland, 49 for Vancouver, 47 for Hillsborough. Good morning to folks down in Salem and Kaiser, 47 degrees right now. We're not going to be warming up too much as we're looking at noon, still dealing with those mid 50s from Kelso down into Eugene, also along the coastline. Really just warming up maybe a degree or two as we're looking into the 5 o'clock hour. But rain is in the forecast. We'll talk about how much and when it's hitting us coming up in my full forecast. Back to you, Alma.
Thanks, Daisy.
We're on a great path. There's been a lot of great movement going on both sides. And I'm really looking forward to seeing, what happens tomorrow.
That's Gary Hollins, the board chair from Portland Public Schools, giving an update on negotiations and revealing that there is still no final deal between educators and the district. Negotiators will be back at the bargaining table again today, but as Thomas Schultz explains, growing frustrations are being felt on both sides.
Frustration continues to grow between Portland teachers and the school district as the sides have negotiated a new contract for 11 months. And while bargaining continues, so do marches, though now Portland Public Schools says its teachers went a step too far. New Oregon Convention Center security footage shows Portland teachers protesting outside the building Wednesday, where school board member Andrew Scott works. Then footage shows two people in the building sprint by security to open doors, allowing hundreds of striking teachers inside. Guards try and fail to stop them. Later, a Portland Public Schools lawyer slammed the union, calling its conduct unacceptable. In a letter, he says PPS could submit an unfair labor practice filing to protect employees from union threats, violence, and terrorism. Though teachers' union lawyers say Portland Public is grossly exaggerating what happened. They say teachers are allowed to peacefully and lawfully picket. Though, while the two sides feud,
okay, you want the whole bowl?
Families are stuck in the middle.
I've been momming all day and then working all night.
Christy Smith is a mom of 3 Portland elementary schoolers. And while she works from home, she's making meals,
The garlicky noodles?
doing dishes, and keeping track of her young trio. And after almost 2 weeks,
Yep.
she's exhausted
Yep.
and worried the strike will continue for weeks.
I think we're in it at least through Thanksgiving for sure.
And to her, there's no end in sight.
Yeah, it's been really hard.
Hard and exhausting for families across the district. All the while, marathon bargaining sessions continue. The two sides will continue to meet throughout the weekend. District leaders said earlier they hope to open schools by Monday, but we'll have to see if the two sides can get close enough to make a deal. Thomas Schultz, KGW News.
Ceasefire now! Keep going! Ceasefire now!
President Joe Biden's neighborhood in Delaware became the site of a rally on Saturday. The peaceful demonstration near the president's home was carried out by several organizations, including Jewish Voice for Peace and American Muslims for Palestine. The groups waved flags and were calling for a ceasefire in Palestine. And as the war between Israel and Hamas expands, demonstrations continue to take place around the world and the Portland metro area. Art Edwards has a look at the latest local activism.
Dozens of people gathered in Seawall Crest Park in southeast Portland for an event sponsored by the Portland branch of the Democratic Socialists of America and attended by local unions and labor organizers.
I want to say that I am filled with pride seeing all your faces from different places. With this, I see the greatness in humanity, and it gives me so much hope.
The people gathered here listened to speakers and carried signs wondering when Gaza would be free and calling for a ceasefire. The event organizer expressed what they hope people will take from the rally.
Ceasefire now. That is the main message. Our congressional delegation has not called for a ceasefire yet, even though unions and the vast majority of American people want a ceasefire. So we are hoping that they will heed our call today.
After meeting in the park for the rally, people began to walk through the neighborhood, making clear what they are looking for. This is not the only local event. On Friday night, members of the local Israeli and Jewish communities gathered in Beaverton to draw attention to more than 200 people held hostage by Hamas. They set an empty table for Shabbat dinner with pictures of those being held hostage.
Time is running out. It's 5 weeks already. It's 35 days that our beloved ones are not with us. And infant, babies, toddlers, elderly, innocent civilians that were kidnapped from their home and from their bed.
Israel's prime minister says Israel's battle against Hamas in Gaza will continue with full force. A ceasefire is only possible if all the hostages are released. Art Edwards, KGW News.
The city of Vancouver has just declared an emergency in response to its growing homeless and drug crisis. Blair Best went to find out exactly what that means.
Sean Haswell moved his campsite from Portland to Vancouver for one reason.
I just wanted to get away from a big city. Portland, unfortunately, has become known nationwide as a city that you can come and camp and get high.
Now he stays in this lot outside Vancouver City Hall, where homeless people have been allowed to camp until now.
I'm cleaning this stuff up and I'm going to give some of my tents away.
On Tuesday, city officials pinned this notice to their tents. It says they have 1 week to move or they'll be arrested. And the city's response to this crisis is only getting stronger.
Everyone sat down and said, okay, what are our next steps? Because it's not getting better, it's getting worse, and it's getting worse rapidly.
So on Monday, they voted to create a homelessness emergency order.
We put a lot of confidence in the expectation that this will be enforced. We don't do this lightly, and you don't see a lot of these types of declarations come through.
I think it's been a crisis for a long time, and treating it like a crisis is going to make a big difference.
This emergency order allows the city to expedite opening more shelter, updates the rules around how police respond to homeless issues, and clarifies where people can and cannot camp.
It's cutting red tape to speed up the process for what our citizens are truly demanding. Solve this problem. Don't just better manage it.
Now, the city plans to move the people camping outside City Hall to this transitional housing site just a few blocks away. Now, the site is still under construction, but they hope to have people moved in by Thanksgiving.
I just want to be stable again, have a safe place where I can leave my stuff, go out and work, and return to a normal life.
Something the city hopes to help people like Haswell achieve.
This is important. This is special. This isn't just a political stunt. This is serious, and we expect it to be carried out, and it gives the staff the authority to do that, and it's done.
Vancouver has also signed 2 other emergency orders, including one that allows them to use a certain amount of public property for large sanctioned homeless camps.